eyebrows arched, the small mouth. The index finger is longer, that's always female. Small hand. Here we are with the open FTMs. Small forehead, no male brow ridge, small nose, small mouth, small chin. It's the same look because I think this is a girl.
Oh, hell no, hell no, hell no.
The Virgin Mary's iconography has been vaginal symbol for centuries without being noticed. That's what she's doing here. The goddess symbolism, emerging from the birth canal. You don't have to open the curtain like that, but she's doing it. Often enough that it's intentional. And, as I said before, connecting to the Queen of Heaven. Normal people don't burst out of the curtains, and that Q angle is too wide. The star halo represents Mary, stroke Ishtar, stroke Inanna, and her darker form being Lilith. Both goddesses turn women into men. She's obviously a Freemason. She does the hand spells. I've been wondering if this sign really represents anal sex. Baphomet hand sign of the divine world stage actor. Doing the Masonic sign of fidelity, digit ratio. Sign of a fellow sellout. Two fists in the air, either direction, it's the same. Pointing up, you've got wide female hips. I see some editing on that leg, the angle is wide. Men have straight legs. Sloping shoulders. Arms are a bit short. The shoulder to hip ratio is the same. Win Neely is a Canadian queer and trans identified visual artist working out of Hamilton, Ontario. This is Win Neely after transitioning, female to male self-portrait project. Notice the hairline, the lack of a male brow bone, shoulders angled down and not straight like a man. The shoulders are too small. The hips are too wide, which is evidence in this picture. The woman has straight across shoulders that have been edited. The arms are long and straight, and it looks like a corset, but the hips aren't wide. The legs are straight. He looks like a Barbie doll because Barbie is transgendered. Vlada's shoulders are edited, your arms bow out, they are short, your hips are wide, and your legs are open to disguise the female hips. Horned God hand sign. I guess that means she's Christian. There's you as a young sprog. Your mother looks like a drag queen, man. Is that a frog or a dinosaur behind you? During her comedian days, she cosplayed being president. Sitting on the toilet reminds me of a Gautier demon called Belphegor. Belphegor is from Assyria. The name means master of the opening gap. The symbol is the phallus, offerings absinthe, erotic pastries, excrement. Does Voodoo Donuts offer their cakes to Baal? Belphegor is a lieutenant from hell mentioned multiple times in the Bible who had been dispatched to earth on a mission by Satan. He is a shapeshifter, delighting in using this ability to deceive mortals. His most common forms are polarized in their appearance. He will take the form of a beautiful woman. He also appears as a terrible demon. Belphegor is one of the many demons with the attribute Baal, in this case Baal Peor. As such, before he became known as Belphegor, he's mentioned in the Bible as the patron of Moab in Assyria and was one of the false gods that Moses handed down the death penalty for worshipping. As one of the fallen angels, Belphegor was originally a member of the Order of Principalities, and after his fall, he became a demonic counterpart to one of the 10 Sephirot that oversee the Tree of Life. As stated, Belphegor was the patron of the Moab, a kingdom known to have been along the shore of the Dead Sea, on the eastern side in what is now Jordan. He was a phallic deity associated with sex orgies and all forms of debauchery in general. During the Exodus, still as Baal Peor, some factions of Israelites started making sacrifices to Belphegor. The reason for this is because they began having relationships with the women of Moab, who seduced them to their local god. Regardless of the reason, these sacrifices enraged Moses so much that he began to condemn those who were worshipping Belphegor to death. By the time the sacrifices to Belphegor were eliminated, 24,000 people had been killed. The only thing disputed in this was whether they were actually slain or whether Moses called down a plague upon them that caused their deaths. Tigirian, In Kabbalistic tradition are the Klephot or demonic powers associated with Tiferet, the sixth sephirot of the Tree of Life. Tigirium is a place of ugliness and groaning. Tigirium is a striking opposite of the Sephir Tiferet, a place of beauty and rejoicing, for it holds Belphegor, lord of dead bodies. Dead bodies everywhere. The MTF behind you has the hands edited. That's not something a woman would do to a man. It's what a man would do to a woman. Everything with them is opposite. I've already explained the trident connects to Nergal, god of the underworld. The rune Sawalo, the sun is behind you, your face is too small. Madison had her hair removed. Compare Madison to Vlada. Small forehead, no brow ridge, small nose, small mouth, small chin. Obvious. The man has the large skull, brow ridge, square chin, and jaw. This is a girl. Someone who reminds me of Vlada is Verka Serduchka. Do you remember Mary, Star of the Sea? In Santeria and Voodoo, Yamaya is the ocean goddess. The five-pointed star above the head is Venus. Verka is allegedly a male comedian. Why does Verka have a star on the head and wearing mirrors? The thumb represents Venus. Star above the head, pigeon on your shoulder, and you're in front of a portal because Ishtar is the portal goddess, and doves are her symbol. You think it's a coincidence what they're doing. She prefers visual communication better than verbal. Just like Eddie Izzard, this is a FTM pretending to be a man who dresses in drag. Men don't look pretty in makeup. I think the two on either side are real men. Vlada is so dinky compared to him. Your head is the same size as the woman, and you both have wide hips. The man has long arms, but yours are short. Everyone knows about this video by now. Notice that they all have curvy spines. Vlada did a backflip and she has a curve in the lower spine. I've already explained why the female spine curves in the lower back. Do you see how her knee angles inwards? Because she has a female pelvis, so the Q angle is wider. She may have had puberty blockers to prevent fat distribution on the hips and thighs, but the bones are female. As you see here, her hip arches higher up than a man's would. Men can lean on their hip, but it's not that wide. Vlad is not a gay man doing a transvestite peep show. This is a woman who's acting like a woman. Look at the difference in the forehead, the brow ridge, facial hair, jaw, and neck. She has crow's feet when she smiles because this is a woman. The bones are female, therefore, this is a female. Can you see it? It just looks like a lesbian who cut her hair short. I was told this one is doing cocaine, I don't know, but they bring your focus to the ring on the middle of her right hand. Similar to the black ring in Ace culture representing the absence of sexual attraction, the translucent or transparent glass ring worn by pansexuals symbolically represents the potentiality for attraction towards all genders, with the clearness of translucency encapsulating all possible colors of the spectrum. The rings are worn on the middle finger of the right hand. Let's look at our palmistry. The middle finger is governed by Saturn. Your wife has a large neck. Do you see the long ring finger and large hands? Oi, the jaw is square and your neck is quite long. Vlada's legs cross one over the other because she's a female, and Olya is walking from the knee because he's male. And then he was photographed wearing a dove pin. Irene, Greek myth, the goddess of peace, daughter of Zeus and Themis, identified with the Roman goddess Pax. Ukraine is supposedly at war, so it doesn't represent peace. Ishtar is the goddess of war and political power, and her symbol is the dove. Ooh, I see a large brow bone and an Adam's apple. The jaw difference is painfully obvious. Olena and the lad both have a square, angular jaw, and Vlada doesn't have much of one. Now you're surrounded by televisions propped on boxes which represent Saturn, and I told you that TVs are a portal, meaning they are broadcasting from the other side. Vlada has a curve in the spine, and you don't. This could be editing or maybe hip padding, but your arms hang straight to the side. You see how they walk down the stairs? The roles are reversed. Olena has the big teeth and mouth. Vlada has the small teeth and mouth. Maybe they should speak to the editing team about doing a better job. I didn't find many photos of their children. That looks like a little boy with long hair. The photos we are given are obviously positioned. Venus rules the color green. These pictures look faked. I think these are AI rendered. The texture of the hair is off. The child has a long ring finger, which is male. All three have the same pink tint on the skin. It doesn't look real. I think it was created using AI image software. Olena has the sharp male cheekbones. Doesn't look good without makeup. I think your hand is morphing. The pose the boy is doing refers to the squatter man or plasma event seen in the sky, so they may be alluding to another event happening. Vlada has a Superman mask, and I think the boy is Spider-Man. Jabulon is the Freemason deity. It's a man with spider legs. Jabulon is a spider-man. And of course the mask petroglyphs refer to plasma discharge. Do you see the boy has crosses on his top? And it looks like the girl is holding something. I think it's a coded Freemason ritual. The identity of the legends is also confirmed by this hieroglyphic picture copied from an ancient Egyptian monument, which may also enlighten you as to the lion's grip and the master's gavel. In this classic Masonic textbook, Morals and Dogma, Scottish Rite legend Albert Pike suggests that this hieroglyphic picture, copied from an ancient Egyptian monument, may enlighten you as to the lion's grip and the master's gavel, two standards of the ritual ceremony for the master degree. In the picture, the candidate lying on the floor is about to be raised by the powerful grip of the lion's paw. The lion is carrying in his right hand the Ankh, symbol of reincarnation or regeneration. The X on the man's chest tells us this is Osiris, the sun god, who was slain but arose from the dead, being pieced back together by his beautiful queen Isis. I think the photo is depicting the resurrection of the underworld god called Pluto, Nergal, and also Osiris. Regarding the yellow and blue colours, yellow used to be called gold until they changed it. Examples of the use of colour in ancient Egypt. Blue is the hair of the gods. Gold is the flesh of the gods. The blue and gold reminds me of a stone called lapis lazuli. Since lapis lazuli has been mined as early as the 7th millennium BCE, it has a long and rich history of folklore and legends. Due to its stunning shade of blue flecked with gold, it has long been associated with godliness and supernatural forces. Lapis lazuli was often used in religious rituals. Lapis lazuli was also a highly popular material for amulets. The image of truth was always inscribed on lapis lazuli, which was worn around the neck of the Egyptian high priest. The Egyptian Book of the Dead describes in detail the importance of lapis lazuli in funeral rituals. Ancient Egyptians were particularly fond of the azure stone. The deep blue colour stood out against the drab desert tones. Since lapis lazuli often resembles a starry night sky, it was associated with the heavens and the supernatural. Priests would often dye their garments with lapis lazuli paint to solidify their status as gods. Many other cultures have incorporated lapis lazuli into their rituals and folklore. One famous legend states that King Solomon was given possession of a lapis lazuli ring by an angel. This ring allowed him to control an army of demons, which he used to build his temple. In Sumerian mythology, the goddess Inanna roamed the underworld and used rods made of lapis lazuli to measure the length of a person's life. Lapis lazuli was commonly viewed as the physical flesh of the gods. Despite the differences in distance between these ancient cultures, they all held lapis lazuli in high esteem and generally granted it the same designation as a powerful and spiritual object. Ishtar descended to hell to free his brother lover Tammuz. Goddess Ereshkigal had kidnapped Tammuz. Legend tells that Ishtar had a lapis lazuli necklace that protected her from the dangers in her voyage through the underworld and the 7 guardian doors. On the first door, she left her shoes to the guardian demon, which symbolized giving up her will. In the second door, she left her ankle jewelry. On the third door, she gave up her cloth. On the fourth door, she gave up the golden balls covering her breasts. On the fifth door, she gave up her lapis lazuli necklace. Did somebody notice that lapis lazuli was used to enter the fifth door? In the post, we told you that lapis lazuli was a 5th stone on Aaron's breastplate. Looks like a hell of a coincidence, don't you think? On the 6th and 7th door, she gave up her earrings and also her 1,000-petaled crown. That meant giving up her magic and her divinity, respectively. Lapis lazuli is an ancient stone used extensively in ancient Egypt, where they revered it as a symbol of truth and used it in jewelry, makeup, medicines, furniture, and of course, in funeral rites. Mythology recorded it as an ancient sapphire, which was included with gold, pyrite. Lapis lazuli's astrological signs are Taurus and Aquarius. The planets are Saturn and Venus. The card says close the sky over Ukraine. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but since we're discussing Egypt, Nut was the goddess of the sky and all heavenly bodies, a symbol of resurrection and rebirth. According to Egyptians, the heavenly bodies would enter her mouth, traverse her skies, and be reborn with dawn out of her womb. A sacred symbol of Nut was the ladder used by Osiris to enter her heavenly skies. This ladder symbol was called Maket and was placed in tombs to protect the deceased and invoke the aid of the god of the dead. The ancient Egyptians said that every woman was a Nutrit, little goddess. Nut was thought to be the barrier separating the forces of chaos from the ordered cosmos in the world. Nut's fingers and toes were believed to touch the 4 cardinal points or directions. She was often painted on the inside lid of the sarcophagus, protecting the deceased. The vault of the tomb was often painted dark blue with stars as a representation of Nut. You're holding a book with blue, pink, and white, which are the colors on the transgendered flag. Very large male hand. Square male wrist. Masonic fist to chin, meaning you took an oath to be killed if you reveal the secrets. Standing next to Granddad on the left, so at least you'll know what you look like in 4 years' time. The surgeries and hormones don't last. Neck. Look at that neck. Trachea. I've heard him speaking, and I think he's had vocal cord surgery because your bones are male. Skull, shoulders, hands. Red, blue, and green top. These colors connect to portals. The red flower resembles a stylized squatter man. Here he's standing with Amin, dark blue and light blue. Do you remember what I said about these 2 colors? It should be in your notebook. If not, you have to watch older videos and start over. It refers to the girl on the Denver airport mural with the star map. The building that they're in is Topkapi Palace. The Topkapi Palace, literally Cannon Gate Palace. It was given the name Topkapi, meaning Cannon Gate, in the 19th century. At the end of the Ottoman Empire, a government decree dated April 3rd transformed Topkapi into a museum. The palace complex has hundreds of rooms and chambers, but only the most important are accessible to the public as of 2020, including the Ottoman Imperial Harem and the treasury called Hazin, where the spoonmaker's diamond are on display. Officials of the ministry as well as armed guards of the Turkish military guard the complex. The last time there was an invasion, they went straight to the museum. 2 people already in comments told me that they're going to activate the cerns. It's not going to work. There could be odd anomalies when they do, but I think their plan is not going to work. Oh, look, darling, it's an airplane. Yes, but we can't go anywhere because there's a coronavirus. You see those cheekbones and jaw? I see a feminized man that has been given all the high-end hormones and treatments. This feels accurate to me. Compared to the open MTF, forehead, brow ridge, chin, and neck. He had a rhinoplasty, lips pumped, jaw shave, and hormones. It's the exact same look. The pearls of a prostitute are placed around your neck, and you're likely to snatch a man from the tavern. Despite her association with mating and fertility of humans and animals, Inanna was not a mother goddess. No, because she was given the role of a whore. The male cannot give birth, and therefore is not a mother goddess. Vlad looks like she just gave birth, so I think you're the real mother. Pink, blue, and white again. She's gained a lot of weight, so I think she's pregnant here. There's far too much weight gain in the face, and don't mind the facial hair because they can do transplants or hormone injections. She's walking to the hospital. That tummy is looking round. That's about 6 months on you right there. But at the hospital, the bump disappeared. She's wearing the same jumper and the belly is gone. Women gain lots of weight in the face, especially during pregnancy, but you have all that weight and nothing to show for it. If it is a man who got chunky, so what? They wouldn't edit that out, but they did. So much weight, I see your wide hips, but the stomach looks professionally edited because your arm is wonky. You have fat in your upper arm, but the forearm is oddly thin and choppy. It appears to be full breast as well, but likely Photoshop some of that out. You sit like a girl anyway. This is just another puppet and one who's been chosen to open the gates of Hades. When they admit that their actors are transgender, then I might listen to what they say, but until then, they're just paying homage to recycled gods that nobody believes in.
Налимо по чарці Мартіні. Будьмо гей за волю, за долю, за правду. Будьмо гей.
You are all weirdos. Ugh.